Hello and welcome everybody to episode 187 of our live cast. um, yeah, my caps lock was off, or on, and
Off, on, off.
yes. So, hi. Let's see. Who do we have today? So,
Hi!
whoa.
That's a
Whoa.
voice.
That's a voice we haven't heard for a while. We got Darius at the top left.
Hello, everyone.
We've got me.
Hi!
We've got me at the top right. We've got.
That's Terry, by the way, for those who are listening
I
on
guess I should.
audio.
Yeah, I guess I should say my name because you can't actually see the names. We
Say
got.
my name, say my name.
We got Ryan at the bottom left.
Hi.
Hi. And what's that guy's name again? I think he was
I
here
don't
last
know,
week. But what's his
He
name?
doesn't speak. He doesn't speak much.
He's very distracted. Always looking at his phone. Always playing other games. There's gotta
Hey,
be.
I'm playing with a pound coin and a pair of tweezers.
1
Oh
pound,
my
or
god,
is
it's
it?
got desperate.
Is it 1 pound or 1 pence?
£1. It's an old £1.
It looks
yeah, I've got
small.
£1.
Your
Well,
pounds are
it
small
looks
compared
invisible,
to.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
He has to put it right in front of.
As it fades in and out of existence.
He has to put it right in front of his face so it doesn't fade away. But
Is
yeah,
that
we have
what they mean
Stefan.
by cryptocurrency.
Oh, that's it. It can digitally disappear.
I hide a
Yeah.
lot of them in this picture all around me.
You must be
Yeah,
rich
so we
then.
got so it's Stefan.
Darius, Terry, Ryan, and Stefan. Hello, everybody.
All here.
Or should we say
All
hi?
ready to,
You
Yeah,
three
hi,
concern me.
everybody.
So
I was the child.
we'll go
Yeah,
with
so,
our.
This just confirms how loose we are at the moment. We've got to do something. We've got to laugh. We've got
Yeah.
to at least have a
With
laugh.
the state of the world.
Between
Why, what's
the
wrong with
last
it?
podcast where we were just talking random shit about laughing at people who bought NFTs and got them hacked, to a literal fucking invasion going on in Central Europe right now.
Yeah.
Is there?
Tell me you're joking.
I don't watch the news. I don't watch anything. And I've stayed off Facebook for about 3 weeks. So.
Good, but not good. Like, this is huge stuff. You really should be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get into that on this, but
I mean, I know it's unfortunate. We are a gaming podcast, but there's stuff that affects the world as well, and that's just.
I know so
it's
many
tough.
people that aren't even posting anything right now because of the state of affairs. And for those of you that don't know, Stefan, Russia has literally bombed cities in Ukraine.
Yeah. Thursday morning, as I would have uploaded the VOD of the podcast, Russia had launched a quote unquote special military operation, known by everyone else as war.
Yeah.
Against the Ukraine, and it's affected everything in the world. This is massive. This is the biggest conflict.
Well,
really, since
the scariest thing that I think is going to affect you guys more than us is that literally every country around the world is going to shut down their trade and anything economy-wise with Russia.
Yes.
Because of this. And it could roll out to you. Like, it will have effects on your guys' economies as well.
Yeah, that's we just had another announcement today from like our foreign secretary talking about how they were imposing more sanctions, and then just stating, well, yeah, it's going to hurt us, but we can take the pain.
Yeah,
if it means
saving shitloads of lives.
Yeah.
Like, last time I looked, and I'm not fully up to date, but how many people have left the Ukraine? Almost 1 million now.
Yeah.
Most of which are going to
a lot of people.
The biggest portion going to Poland.
Yeah.
So
they're doing an open arms policy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's just so sad. Like, I get that people have their differences, but to take it out on civilians, like political problems and stuff like that should never be taken out on civilians.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
if you
fine.
could
Yeah,
consider it
definitely.
politics, which I don't really consider it politics when it becomes war. It's no longer politics.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and
crybabies at that point.
mm,
Temper tantrums.
yeah. So I mean, I'll take it back into. I guess we can take it back into gaming in a particular way. On this League of Legends European Championship decision. It was a bit odd because Thursday had come along. They're all hyping up these matches, ready for the 7th week of the tournament, and usually on a Friday morning at the beginning of the week, the League of Legends or the LEC official account asks for predictions for the day's games. It didn't happen. 2 o'clock GMT, 3 o'clock CEST, their time. They posted saying after discussion with teams and staff at the LEC, we have decided to move on and play the games for this week. It looks like they were holding out to see whether players wanted to play. In spite of the conflict that's gone on, they've done it. They've gone and done what most sports have done. They're just aware of what's going on, agreed for special situations that you can mention Ukraine because there's a lot of you know geopolitical arguments. A lot of things happen. For football over here, the RFA agreed that people could wear Ukrainian flags as support. Generally, it would be considered a political statement, and that's not allowed. But it was waived for this particular case. The LEC has a Russian player, Sanzara, the jungler for Astralis, who got abuse from people on Twitter because, of course, where else would you abuse people other than fucking Twitter? And basically told him, fuck off, back to your country, we don't want Russians in the LEC. Now, the thing that should be mentioned on this is that the Russian military and the Russian people are two fucking distinct identities.
Yeah.
And Sanzara, after briefly checking through his feed um, prior to his, him posting what this fucking dickhead wrote to him, has been very outspoken, supportive of Ukraine, and the idea that he doesn't want war is not a thing that should be happening. In regards to this, and to be set upon by people who've just gone, oh, you're Russian, therefore you're the enemy, blah blah blah. It's like, no, this is what caused that shit like that is what caused World War II back in the day, and there wasn't Twitter to do anything. That was
No.
walking down the street and saying it to someone's face.
And that was something I wanted to touch base on is like, with all this going on, we now more than ever have to verify sources. Don't listen to Facebook. Don't listen to TikTok. Don't listen to any of these things about news.
Mm.
Go to your local news, something that you can trust.
Even double check it.
Yeah.
Go to 2 sources. Go to
Like,
3, whatever it takes. And if they all corroborate the same thing, generally at that point, it's true.
yeah. Like, there's so many articles out there of people just wanting to get clicks. They just want to get clicks. They're clickbait, whatever you want to consider them. And it's making situations worse.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Because there's no proper information going out on what's happening. All I can say is find out locally what you can do, if anything. If you can donate a few dollars here or there to some of your charities that are helping out. Because whether or not either side is right, and I'm not picking anybody's sides, I don't agree with Russia bombing cities, but they're allowed to have disputes. They can have their problems. But bombing cities is not right. They're just civilians. They didn't choose any of the outcomes of what's going on. All they chose was where they wanted to live. And if you can, send some money to help. There's every country, every place has charities now that are available.
Yeah, most of the countries right now is taking any donations and trying to
Yeah,
send support towards
whatever they
Ukraine.
can, whether it's shelter, like send money for shelters, stuff like that, to the especially to Poland, all these countries. Like I don't have anything in front of me right now on this, but it's a big problem right now. Like those people don't deserve to have their lives torn apart by this, and
Yeah.
who knows, by next week we all may be affected by this. If this turns into a world war, we all may be affected by it. So
God forbid it doesn't happen, but
yeah, the
or God hoping it
people
doesn't
make
happen.
stupid decisions and leads to even stupider outcomes. So
Yeah.
if you have anything if you can spare anything, there's people in need right now. Lots and lots of people in need. Most of the people that escaped the Ukraine, not even just the people that have escaped, but the people that are still there, have just the clothes on their backs, whatever they could carry. Um, maybe they have access to their banks, maybe, but whether or not those banks are even giving out money is another problem. So we should move on to something that's a little bit more popular, but I'm hoping that
So yeah,
not
I was about
popular,
to say
but
because of the looseness and on this and the fact that we're not sort of just rigidly going through what's been played and news anymore, and we can just put it in when we go. We might as well just do one of the sources that are on there. You see the Kotaku source you were talking
yes,
about. You were talking about making sure that sources are verified before you just randomly share stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dear God, this has happened multiple times. It's happened in the UK, and in conflicts in Ireland and stuff like that in the past couple of years. It turns out that Armor 3 might be a little bit too realistic, as according to Kotaku here, there's a particular piece of Ukraine footage of a jet doing a bombing run while there's tracer fire aiming at it. That's not that's not from the conflict in Ukraine. It's
not the game.
it was a video from Armor 3.
yeah. And the scary thing is, even if the graphics aren't necessarily that real,
Mm.
with these new powerful graphics cards and AI technology to rebuild and turn images into real like images, they can
Yeah,
turn these videos from video game graphics to almost real, undistinguishable from the naked eye. So, sure, go on to your TikToks and your Facebooks and stuff like that and see some of these things, but don't just assume that's what's happening. Verify sources, double check with your local news or world news, preferably local because it's much easier to trust local news sources that you trust. Um, they're a little bit more responsible. Maybe not if you live in the United States, but some of those are a little iffy. But yeah, like if you see your same thing happening on multiple local news sources, then it's more than likely going to be true. Um,
yeah,
some of these live videos on TikTok and stuff like that are a little bit more believable, but even lives can be faked. They could just be a video playing that makes it look live. Um, check for looping. Check for random artifacts, even. But
hmm
just verify your sources and like I said, if you can, please send something to some of your local charities. Hopefully, it'll be resolved by our next podcast, and we won't all be in a bunker somewhere.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
that'd be fine.
the worst part is you
Yeah,
guys are close to a hub that could get bombed. Like you guys
Yeah,
are a lot closer to a main city. At least I'm out in the country now, and a huge country that is. Um, it's a little comforting for me, but still, even if it's not you guys directly, if it pulls out to any other country other than just the Ukraine, it's
Well, we'll
going
have
to
to
be
wait for it another few days before we can see where this is escalating, isn't it?
yeah. Well,
So
I remember there was a news article saying that they were going to have communications. So I'm hoping, I don't know if they have
I
or
know.
not.
Elon Musk has put his own private internet satellite over them at the minute.
yes.
So Elon Musk is providing them their internet.
Oh, like a Starlink system kind of thing?
Yes,
Yes.
it's the only country that has it at the minute.
Really?
He
'Cause
literally just turned on just then.
I know the US has it.
Well, he's turned. Well, they're the only European.
I was about to say, I
Or
know the
whatever.
US has it, but
Yeah, US has
only
it.
only specific areas, which is really funny, I find.
Yeah.
But
No, but the thing is, you'll like turn on the Starlink for the whole Ukraine.
yeah, but the issue is you need special hardware to connect to it, so he must have loosened up the security or something on it to give them access.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, anyway, he make it happen, isn't
Yeah.
it? So that counts. Because the
Well,
Russians are destroying the
Well, yeah, they're
communication relays.
well, yeah, that's one of the first things that will happen in war, which it's apparently not supposed to be, but they're going to try to block communications. And so that's just proof that it is war, even though they're trying to say it's not.
The better thing
Well-
is, do you know how they asked for help?
Who asked for help?
I said how they asked for help.
I'm asking who asked for help.
How Ukraine asked for help off Elon.
No, not the prime minister. The second to prime minister just tweeted.
Yeah. Sent him a Twitter.
Basically, yeah, literally, he sent a tweet to Elon Musk. Hey, we know you are trying to conquer Mars, etc., colonize Mars. However, people might need some like information on daily basis, and Russian are destroying the relays. If you could do something about it, turn on the internet, and a few hours later, it's on.
Well, that's one thing I'll give Elon is like he it's hard to explain, but like he does give a shit. He's not just like a selfish. He's willing to put himself out there. He's willing to take the risks. Like, if you think about it, he's not hiding. He could easily say, well, that's too risky. With everything else that's going on, he could
He's
say,
one of
well,
the few people who realizing in what state or Earth is, and he's not afraid to say that we need to start thinking about other sources of power, of places to live, because sooner or later we're gonna run out of it, and he is not afraid to invest on those things.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to take a big loss right now. He expecting to that come into fruition in the future, but you need place to start.
Yeah.
He's that kind
He'll
of
take
person
the
to start
risk.
with.
He'll take the risk rather than like everybody else who wants to play it safe. This is working right now. I don't want to take a risk on something that may or may not work. I want to book on something that will work. But what I was saying is he's not afraid to put himself out there, and like technically, who knows if Putin was gonna take this as an act of aggression towards him, and he basically said, "I don't care. These people need this, so they need to be able to communicate."
And considering, like you said, you're trying to not attack a civilians. You're just trying to do your thing. Maybe you should just let it happen. But then again, like I say, this is the mind of someone we don't know because
We don't
he's so
understand.
closed off.
Yeah, we don't understand his logic, his anything, what lack thereof logic. But like, if it was a military strike, why isn't he striking military? Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I get that he's trying to strike fear, but I don't know. I think we should definitely
You're not gonna get hearts and minds. Yeah, that's the most mature that
let's.
we've done.
Yeah.
The most mature subject we've ever discussed on this podcast. Actually, maybe apart from that one game that we all despised because of its content matter, and I really don't want to mention it again. This was like podcast 30.
Yeah.
So yeah. So should we go back to our normal immature selves and explain why I still currently have hair?
You still currently have hair.
Yeah. Yeah, so with the LEC nearly wrapping up, my age-old bet that I said to Excel, they never fully accepted it. They like to post. I count that as I count that as an acceptance of the bet.
Yeah, that's an
Um,
acceptance.
yeah, back down last year when we hit affiliate on Twitch, we celebrated by yous all celebrated by watching me do a 12-hour long stream of playing nothing but League of Legends ARAM, and like an hour into it, I just made it apropos of nothing. Just said, you know what, I'm confident on Excel. They could possibly make playoffs, and in fact, I'll spur them on. If they make playoffs in the LEC, I will go bald. That didn't happen. They went out by a match. They lost to G2, and that didn't happen. However, I kept on and said that, you know what, fair enough, I will keep the hair and I will keep the hair growing. I will not change the style of hair until they make playoffs. Currently this year, this split, they have a 97.2% chance of making playoffs.
So you're gonna go
The
bald.
only
Yeah.
yeah, it's what it's looking like.
Are you going
One
like
last-
full straight razor bald or just buzzed?
Oh, straight razor.
Oh wow.
Well, I said I'm gonna buzz and then we're gonna see how it's gonna look. And if we can go further, then we'll just straight razor off what's left.
You gotta go straight razor.
So
You
number
have to
0
do
on
it.
the haircut.
No, you have to do it. You have to.
What? Just straight razor.
Yeah. You can
Yeah,
wear a
okay.
hat if you need to. If it looks that bad, you
Well,
could wear a hat.
Well, I mean, I've already got it.
Yeah.
And maybe even just get like a
No, you know what you
toque?
need to do now?
A
You'll-
beanie or a toque, whatever you
No.
call it a toque.
Yeah, it's a toque for us.
Yeah.
Actually, I just call it a hat. But
And what are you saying I should do instead? Just like wax it?
no, I was gonna. No. I would never put you through that. That's not no. You can't.
No. I just mean that no. Like after going bald, just like hair
Oh,
wax it.
cue ball. Cue ball wax.
Just to become a shiny
Um,
dome.
No, I was gonna say now if that happens, you have to shave it and then wear your XL hat everywhere. To sleep, to shower, everywhere. It has to be attached to your head.
Oh my god.
Or at least okay, I will one up it. It has to stay on
Alright.
as long as they're in the game. If they win it, you have to wear it till next season.
Oh my god! Right, so you're saying if X right, so I then have to keep the hat on at all times
At least as long as we see you.
for
You
as
can
long
take
as
it
they
off when
remain
you're
in
sleeping and
playoffs.
showering because you don't
Okay.
want a soaking wet hat. But you'll have to
Well,
wear it
yes, but
every time you're on alive. Every time, like if we can see you, you have to wear it.
okay. For as long as XL then remain in playoffs.
Yep. Which means if they
So for that, so there's a week break between the regular season and playoffs. So for a minimum of a week.
a minimum of a week and a maximum of until next season's playoffs when they're decided to be in or not.
If XL win outright.
Yeah.
Steph?
I have one other question. If he
Yeah.
has to wear it when we see him, does that mean he has to wear it out of the house just in case we see him outside the house?
I'm gonna say yes.
Well, I've already.
Can you wear it at work?
Already done that when we. Oh yeah, I can wear it
Perfect.
at work.
Then perfect. Then you have to wear it every time that there's a chance that we see you as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's just say I already prepared that with the D&D session that we had on Saturday. I pretty much wore the hat the entire time we were there.
Okay. Well, next
So-
question is, does he get to wash it?
No.
You're gonna really piss off your coworkers if you can't wash it. Middle of the summer when you're sweating up a storm and it fucking starts to reek.
I wash it.
Oh,
He has
thanks,
to use it
Dariusz.
as a plate as well when he eats food.
Oh no, he's not allowed to take it
no.
off. He can't do that.
Yeah.
No, he can take it off if we're not there to see it.
Hold on, so you say I should just like get some sort of food and just balance it on my head like that, and then
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, you could do it that way. Either way, I wasn't planning that way.
there we go. Look, see, we can go from like severe
Super
and mature
real.
to just batshit crazy and just in a flip. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's all great. And then we're also getting towards the end of the fantasy league as well, and all places are changing. I'm not spoiling it because it's coming out on Wednesday, but
It's
they're
tight.
getting interesting.
It's tight.
Yeah.
It's been tight the whole time, but it's tight.
I just need to stop Terry from doing it before me because I look at Terry's and I go, I'm not. And I look at mine and I go,
Hey,
I
it's the
can't
exact
do that.
same.
It looks like I'm copying him, and
It's
I
the exact
change
same.
bits of mine.
Yeah, me and you have had the
That's what I'm
same for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I can bring this up because our predictions. I can bring that up because the games have already happened. You'll see how that's. We don't predict on past results. Otherwise, we'd be stupid with the scores that we've got. We'd be doing so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, if we were
But,
predicting
no.
on old games and getting this bad of scores, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I love the like. Yeah, to be fair, you were basically exactly the same, minus 2 matches. Yeah, 2 matches. Misfits versus G2 on day 1, and Mad versus Fnatic. No, in fact, no, it was just the one. Sorry. Am
Well,
I looking at the right week? Yeah,
look at the couple weeks
week 8.
before. Look at
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, it's 2 matches. Sorry, both in day 1. Mad Lions versus XL. Terry, well done. You bigged up the XL. Yes, yes, boy.
I think I'm doing the worst this time.
Yeah, you still
Because
remember
my-
that podcast?
no, you were still in. So as of what everybody's seen, you were still in the top. What is it? You're not in the
Something.
disqualification line yet. You haven't
Yeah.
dropped below that yet.
But it's miles worse than it was last year.
Yeah.
Well, didn't it go
Well,
down to me and you last year?
Yes.
yeah, it did. Yeah. But yeah, this is going to be interesting with the because I keep updating sort of how the eliminations are going to be happening based on the amount of players that are in, and also on the fact that I want to have as many people being able to take part in this throughout the tournament as possible. So we got 8 people, and we're going to just eliminate. There's no spoils on this. We're just going to eliminate 2 people each
Each
way up.
section.
Yeah, so like first week of playoffs, another 2 go. Second week of playoffs, we go back to the normal final 2 that we do, and then sort of move it from there. Because in other seasons, when we had 8 people, we just cut it in half, and that was just like, well, that's a thing.
All right, Ryan. One thing though, if I win again,
Yeah.
you have to send me the trophy.
Well, yeah. Now that the pandemic is,
That's true. It would have been
hopefully, sort of
risky to
going
send
down a
it.
little bit.
It would have been risky to send it with the way the mail and stuff was and stuff. We would really not. It would really suck if we lost it. If it got lost
Yeah.
in the mail system. So
If anything, just send it to Duncan. It'll be easy, and then you can pick it up from Duncan's.
To be honest,
It-
Duncan then would probably want to keep hold of it for 2 weeks because of the.
it may actually be
He's not
easier.
actually won it though. Huh?
It may actually. No, he's never won it, but he did say that he would have to get it this year.
Yeah. If he wins, he wants that damn trophy.
You may have to send it to him, depending on just because packages go to him easier than me because he's right in a city.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I have to say, if that trophy gets lost, we're going to be in real trouble. Like, I haven't got another Slimming World trophy that I can just jury rig back into the Fantasy League trophy, so might actually have to go to a trophy shop,
yeah.
or I could just see maybe invest in a 3D printer.
Oh, I
I
want to
think
ask you
that'll
something,
cost more.
Ryan. I want to ask you something. Show me the Steam Deck or Stream Deck, not Steam Deck.
Oh, the stream deck. Oh, all right. Hold
I
on.
haven't got to see it yet.
So here it is.
Oh,
I set it up. I set it up. That it's got the Immaterial Immaterial Gamers logo as its
buttons.
sleep screen.
Oh, I thought those were
And
buttons.
there we go. There's all the buttons. So at the top is basically all the sort of go live and stuff. We've got like stream and audio on the so the right hand side and the middle, and then on the bottom, I've just got sound. I've got soundboard. I've just set soundboard up,
You're
which
you're
through,
boo and
yeah
the
through the
claps.
Tuesday special. We just had that Tuesday special. That was fun. I actually enjoyed that. Minus the issue that we had in the sort of the middle of the stream where we were planning to play Rocket League as a 2v2 game instead of Worms. But Rocket League is archaic by the fact that it's a game that refuses to allow you to split the audio through either using, a splitter, like an actual deck, or through either Windows's own audio splitting or the other thing. So it was crap. There was no way we were going to be sitting there playing Rocket League silently, nor was I wanting it doubling up in sound or potentially hearing Windows notifications in the middle of the game. We're driving. Get out.
We've had enough of those.
So,
We've had enough of
yeah.
those over our years. That's
Yeah,
why I
it's
don't
true, and then-
use my main audio output anymore for streaming. I just use this
Yeah.
one and this one.
Yeah. So yeah, the Stream Deck's the one thing. I've also actually got an Elgato face cam now as well. So that's why now my face can now have the potential to go into 60 frames per second as opposed to 30. Woo.
I don't even know what mine is, but mine's. It looks alright to me. I don't know how it looks on your guys' side, but
It's
besides
fine.
the blur, but that's the Discord blur that I can't fix because I don't have a fancy card. I don't have an RTX card,
Oh.
unfortunately.
Hi Darius.
Yeah, the two guys on the left have an RTX card. Me and Stefan on the right are sad guys.
It's a Discord blur. It's fine. I mean, Steph's new cam is.
Yeah, at least he doesn't have the.
The strobing light.
I will end up having that once the sunlight goes away. I'm fortunate enough to have sunlight during my podcasting,
Podcasts now. Yeah.
whereas you
Hey,
guys
hey,
have
soon in the summer, give it a few more months,
you'll have
and we'll be able to do.
you'll
that.
have an hour at the beginning of the podcast, or not even like half an hour at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, it'll be great. It will become we'll be able to say, welcome to the first Immaterial Gamers live Twilight cast.
Yeah.
All
All right. So we
so
haven't
that's
really
all.
hit anything about what's been played this week, so maybe we should do a little bit of that. We're running a little long already if we haven't hit any of those, and we have some people that haven't played or been in for a while.
Yeah, well, I'm
One.
happy to see to Darius because
I
otherwise
was
I'm
about
just
to
gonna
say,
be
I was
talking
here
about-
last week. Don't say
Yeah,
that.
I was going to be saying otherwise I'd be talking about Chaos Dungeons in Lost Ark, but I can still do that afterwards.
Well, I fished you in a little bit last week on Lost Ark, but now we can get really into it because you played a little bit more. But let's start with Darius. What have you played this last? How long has it been since you've been in a podcast?
No, way too long.
2.5 months.
Something like no, I don't think it's been that long, but
Probably might be.
I
I
don't
think
know.
this is
remember.
Darius. I think this is Darius's first podcast this year.
No.
Definitely first. Yeah. I would
Really?
say
First
so.
this
think
year?
it is.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure you were.
No, you were on one with me before. I was off for a few weeks.
Hold on. You
Well-
talk about what's been played, and I'll just check the last time that you were on.
Fair enough.
How are you gonna do that? You're just gonna go through.
I'm just going to go through the library. I can go through our I'll just go through our YouTube studio and just filter it out to podcasts.
Yeah, just say what's on the subject in the
Yeah.
descriptions. Well, no, I'm seriously thinking that this might be the first one this year.
I don't believe it.
You
Okay,
better
anyway, keep
believe
going.
it, son. Well, been playing. What I've been playing, guys. Help me here. Been playing quite a lot of games.
You DM'd your first D&D session.
Yeah,
did that go?
was. Well, it's not me to talk about it because, well, I will be biased.
Well, how did you enjoy it? Is more what I'm asking.
Definitely did not have all the rules here.
Nobody does.
There was kind of like at least one, if not two, misunderstanding with the rules. But I think we.
That's one of the parts of DMing. you get to play around with the rules as well. As
We
long
kind of
as
did.
everybody agrees with what you say.
Well,
And-
we did manage to work it out eventually, and we hit the road basically. First of all, we had to they had to escape a town
Mm.
because they were wanted criminals.
Yeah. So to give you an idea on this, by the way, it's like we were using the starter set characters, and from
However,
there
not the story.
there was a
Well,
Darius
there was. I mean, there was.
had a
There was.
hand it going through the story.
Yeah, there was basically. Well, I purchased the starter set, so it did provide you basic rules rundown, and there's a small booklet of the story. However, I did feel adventurous and invented the beginning of the story on my own. So everything before the road
It was like a
is
prologue of your own creation.
yes, and whatever was on the road, and well, starting from the road onwards, it's from the booklet.
Right. Okay.
Okay, the
Now I
last
know. Now I know that.
one I can find, by the way.
167, by the way,
What was that?
is the last podcast that I see. Darius actually credited that I can see because I'm also looking at thumbnails. The last podcast that Darius was on
Is
was
October.
October. October the 11th.
I
would
feel
have
like
been the
he's
live
been
one
in
'cause it was-
one since then.
Nah, podcast. Yeah, I thought so as well. But yeah, podcast 167. It was called "Not Live from Iceland." The description I put is Ryan is in the host seat. He and Stefan have decided Tales of Arise is an anime, and Darius prices up games for a console that is not out yet.
Which console was that?
PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But we've had him on since he's had it.
Wait, no, it can't be.
We
no,
have.
No, it was that fucking Intellivision Amico
Okay.
where they were providing pre-orders for games for the console, even though the console was delayed until at least this time next year.
That one. Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, because I had the background of the worlds. I had the world's
I'm
background.
with you, by the way, Terry. I feel like there's been one a lot soon.
Yeah, I think there was at least one more with me. Maybe I was.
But I can't find it. That's the last one I can find as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I definitely haven't missed any like I did a couple of weeks ago.
Well,
Because you might see in the list that like podcast 184 came out before 183 on the YouTube. That's because I forgot to upload the.
Way to
I
go.
forgot to.
Way to go.
183 live. So I had it all set up. The audio podcast came out, but no.
See, I think I know why I thought he might have been in one more recently.
Mm.
Because I think he signed up for one and then
Yes.
wasn't able to come in.
Yes.
He did, like Duncan does.
Only a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Like I do.
He stood us up.
I can do
He
it.
stood us up. Yeah, but didn't Duncan just not show up? Like,
Yeah.
He said, I'm there. And then the next day comes around and he's not even around. We're like, really? But Darius stood us up.
well, that happened.
It does.
We're not jilted podcasters, you know. We're not going to get any sort of revenge or anything.
Nonetheless, we appreciate you coming. It's been a while since we've had 4
thought-
people. I don't know what we're going to do if we get 5. Like, how are we going to fit 5 people?
That's a lie. I thought that's what Saturday was for, Ryan. You said that was all about revenge.
What? No. I didn't. No, I didn't.
No.
I did not bring a projectile vomiter as revenge for something that hadn't yet happened. Okay.
You know what you should start doing, Ryan?
Yeah.
Is posting the thumbnails into the podcast availability chat. It might be a quick way of, because you almost always do a thumbnail, even if you're not in.
Yeah.
So it might be a quick way to just scroll through that chat and see who's.
And that way we can just do that. So actually, so I can
seeing
copy the
someone's-
image that I've just done.
Yeah, seeing someone's pictures a lot easier than.
Oh, that's what I was doing through the podcast, by the way, because since you've took over the podcast, the front of them is just whoever's on the podcast, and I've just gone through that.
Yeah.
So like that is the so I've put the thumbnail in. So
Yeah.
we've got one. So those on social media have already seen it. It's basically just us looking at the camera, apart from Terry, who's upside down.
Falling with my hands out.
Yeah.
Ah!
To be honest, that looked like Terry is going, "Hey, hee," yeah, and it just suddenly went upside down.
My, my,
It becomes Numa Numa Nay.
Yeah, but Ryan's the Numa Numa person. Here we go.
So
we go.
yeah, D&D for Dariusz, but then he's also
Moves on.
Well, no, the D&D session, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it definitely needs a little bit. I need to have a little bit more preparation towards it, and get more roles.
Just hire Matt
Somewhere.
Mercer.
Well, to be honest, I have not played D&D in the I did play D&D in the past, but not to that extent, and especially just as a player, so I didn't have to learn everything. And to be honest, when I was just reading all the rules, etc., I kind of just touched bases with how spells works. I didn't learn it. I didn't remember the whole thing how spells works for the game session. And turns out they are quite powerful.
Yeah, I think there's like some stuff that we need to sort of have a look at. I mean, like I say, house rules are just a sort of thing. The system is there as a guide.
It's
know.
it's the it's you're right. It's a guide, and okay, there's certain things that you don't really want to breach on what it based on, but there's a lot of things that you can tweak or bend the. Excuse you. Yeah, but like certain things that may be out of place, or certain things like I bet a bunch of you have seen Critical Role, at least some Critical Role.
Yes. And even if we haven't, we would be aware of it. It's massive. If you're looking at D&D as a streaming platform, Critical Role is just there.
Oh, the only ones I watch are the ones I sent Terry, and they do special D&Ds.
Yeah, but like Matt Mercer, he adds his own little rules and tweaks. Really, Lily?
Wants your attention.
I mean, it's a decent tweak.
Yeah, like one of the main ones that I've noticed in season 1, which is the one I'm going through right now, is he only allows his players to attune to 3 items.
Right.
To stop them from becoming ridiculously powerful. Because like if you have every single slot equipped with an attuned item, then it
not with our rules.
It doesn't guarantee anything.
We have to admit this was a really bad session for you rollers.
That being said, I watched a YouTube video yesterday. No, 2 days ago, on how 2 level 2 characters can take out any monster in the game. No rules at all. One of them needs to be an artificer. The other one could be whatever the hell they want. They could take out a Tarask, they could take out an ancient dragon, anything they want. And so one of them has to be an artificer. And they have what's called infusions or something. I've never played an artificer, so I don't know the exact rules.
Yeah.
And they're allowed to have 2 active infusions at a time or something. So basically what he does is the artificer makes these tattoos, a one-time use spell in a tattoo. And that tattoo, I can't remember what the spell's called offhand, but it will summon a familiar. Find familiar is what it's called. So him and his ally can now summon a little pet. They both summon a hawk, Doesn't have a lot of health or anything. It's nothing crazy. But now his infusions have been used, which means he has 2 free infusion slots available. He then summons 2 bags of holding.
Oh god.
So, he then gives a bag of holding to one hawk, gives a bag of holding to the other hawk. One of the hawks is holding the bag of holding wide open, the other one has it rolled up. And, oh look, there's a Tarask over there. Readies both of his hawk's both hawk's actions. One to dash close to the Tarask with the bag open, once it's within 60 feet. And the other one to dash into the bag of holding with a bag of holding. Any creature within 10 feet is now gone. No saving throws, no nothing. Bye-bye! They're not level 2 anymore.
Wow.
But it also depends on the DM, whether or not they get snuck up on by these creatures and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's little and like tricks like that. But also some DMs might say, well, you didn't kill the creature, so you don't get any experience.
Yeah, that would be my take on that, definitely.
Because the creature's just
Again,
gone. It's not.
Yeah.
But apparently they could do that every 24 hours because it takes a long rest to reset his infusions.
Mm-hmm. But
So-
still, it's a good way to get rid of an obstacle.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, in terms of the XP thing, it also depends on whether you like I was saying to Dariusz, whether you end up having an XP based DM or a encounter based. So a DM.
I prefer
you know,
encounter.
Yeah, so the idea of just like after X encounters, after making it so far through the campaign, right, you guys are now 3rd level.
Yeah. Or if this was a really difficult one, maybe that'll count as multiple encounters or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my games that I play. He gives us experience, but he doesn't do experience until the end of the day. So
Right.
it's not like every time we kill something, we get experience, because if we level up in the middle of a game, it's going to take you a while to level up your character and everything like that. So he just, at the end of the night, goes through everything that he's put us up against, gives us the experience, and you've level up for the next week.
The next session, yeah.
Which is a much smarter system than trying to do it while you're playing, because there's so much going on. And we have a large group, so it's already a lot.
It makes kind of sense to level up your character while you are at long rest.
Yeah. Well, not so much a long rest. Like,
It's just like at the end of a session, rather than you
Yeah.
having to sit there and spend
Yeah.
half an hour going through the player's handbook to
figure out
Yeah,
what you're
figure
getting.
out.
And,
things.
Mm.
Yeah, unless
Like-
you're a fighter and you don't really have to worry about stuff. I was like, oh right, what's the next thing I get to do? Oh, I get to attack twice now.
I was going to say,
Woo!
you get an extra attack or something, but that's about it.
Yeah. I love fighters. Pure the fact I can just dumbly walk into a place and I just think, right, DM, where's the mob? Right. I walk in and I'll just whip out the giant great. Oh well, I mean, I guess my character, Keith Axebane. It's a weird name for a noble, I must admit, but still. But,
My thief
yeah,
name were better.
what were yours? Welby
Will be good barrel.
Good Barrel, a halfling rogue. Who we tried about a few ways of seeing how much we could get the box his minifig stands on. To just into the conversations, but still remembering just the fact that I hit 3 different creatures with my axe in 3 different ways. Snuck upon a dude and dumbly hit him with the butt of the axe. Killed a creature the correct way, involving slamming the axe down on a spider, leaving a gap that basically the abdomen had disappeared and only the legs remained. And then used my great axe like a fucking golf club to whack a spider away from our other party member who was down on the ground, ambushed by a spider. Just say, I'm just going to go. Keith adapts to the situation. Many more ways than a fighter should.
And then there's me, where I just get teabagged. My character just gets teabagged all the time.
Teabagged by a naked
giants.
giant.
Well, the giant wasn't naked until it was covered in oil and
His
set on
loincloth
fire.
burnt off.
Yeah. And then he
Yeah.
slipped and tripped over me, and
It's worth also to say that your character, Ryan, hates dirt.
Oh yeah. My character is a germaphobe. So when one of the first actions we did is I climb over a fence after Steph's character climbed over a fence and stood in horse shit, and then proceeding to have to try and fling the halfling character who's covered in horse shit while being disgusted that I'm covered in it. Is a thing. Sleeping on a camp without like a really nice bed, not great. I mean, as I'm a noble, that basically means when I walk into some towns, people will wait on hand and foot to make sure I get the best rooms. But being hunted by every fucker, so I'm not exactly being welcomed into an inn to be given a nice 3-star bed in a 2-star inn.
yeah, because you're wanted right now. You have to hide.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
sneak around. You're hiding and camping and stuff.
Yeah, it's just not great. But that's by the by. By the by. What other games have you played, Darius? I know other than you making the unfortunate mistake of challenging me to Dirt 5.
Have you not learned Ryan doesn't lose in racing games?
I lost twice out of 8 races.
Yeah, something like that.
I stopped playing racing
75%,
games with
yeah.
Ryan.
Well,
Well,
actually,
well,
the last one we played, I can't remember what it was called now.
it was Wreckfest, and to be fair,
I was doing all right.
yeah.
Ryan's
Oh,
better at realistic racing games than he is things
Wreckfest
like
was pretty
Mario Kart
realistic.
or anything.
Yeah.
Wreckfest was pretty realistic. Ish.
Oh yeah,
Almost
Garth Kart.
cartoonish.
Like Garth Kart.
What?
Garfield Kart.
Oh.
We did that for a play session a couple of weeks back. Duncan actually commented on the re-upload of it, on the VOD of it. Is basically he's clearly watched the part where he got stuck on the track for quite a while, because his comment was, and I quote, "Some say he's still backing out of that corner to this day." No, we did that play session a month ago. Yeah, there we go. And some say I'm still backing out the corners to that day. That being said, it was a fucking funny game. It was just mad. But I know just at that point, yeah, Dirt 5. I've not played that for a while. I should probably reinstall it because it's still on Game Pass, I think. I quite enjoyed it.
Well, how did you like the adaptive triggers?
Those triggers, man, it's the first time I've used DualSense controllers. And yeah, they're weird. I enjoy them. I like them as a function. They're just weird.
It's taking a
You need to
while
get used to
to
them.
get used to them. The first thing which you had to kind of learn is you are not supposed to press them all the way down.
Yeah,
I heard it, but I
Like,
didn't
because
see
I
it.
got the fight back on that pretty
yeah.
extreme. So I don't know if you're aware on this, Terry, that the DualSense triggers, their haptic feedback works in such a way that certain games can the triggers can adapt to give you the sense of needing to fight against the triggers in it. I.e., the one that first came out was a first-person shooter game where the gun jams.
And there's no
The
resistance.
the right trigger would resist.
Okay.
It would lock to simulate the gun is jammed and you need to press another button, then it would unlock and you can do it. A lot of, from what one of my mates at work said, a lot of the shooting games at the moment, depending on certain guns, the trigger will fight back with you because the
Yeah.
trigger on a gun would do the same sort of thing. And in
I like
Dirt,
the feedback on it from the Spider-Man's games.
mm,
So while he's swinging on the, while he's swinging
yes,
over the city, you do have while it's on the web, you do have the resistance. However, as soon as the web snaps,
mm,
your finger is just literally falling down because there is no more,
because there's no.
yeah, you don't have that kind of nothing to hold on, and it's kind of great. That's what I loved really about how they adapt the Spider-Man's games
Mm.
with those triggers. That works for me pretty great.
Yeah. So what's what it ended up doing in Dirt 5 is that the brakes and the accelerator would sort of mess around with you based on sort of the drivetrain,
Yeah.
depending on how you're sort of like steering or flying in the air or stuff like that. So like say if you revs are maxed out, your accelerator would just like try and let go and just go no, let go. There's no point in constantly revving. You're in the air, you dick.
I was gonna say because with my experience of driving, you don't really get much feedback from pedals.
Yeah, but I mean, DualSense has got to work in some way. I mean, it could just.
Yeah, I just I just find that like I get like it's you do get other kinds of feedback from driving.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just trying to give you some sort of feedback to help you. So it's not just all audio and visual.
Mm.
It's trying to give you some physical feedback too, which you get in a vehicle. Like obviously, if you're spinning your tires, the RPMs go crazy. So you feel the vibration difference in the vehicle from the motor shaking at a different speed than normal. You feel the tires maybe vibrating more because they're bouncing, they're coming off the ground slightly. Um, so it's, I guess that's their way of doing it, but it's just funny. Like I can understand the gun one, whereas like it locks, so you can't pull the trigger.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's at that point again though. It's sort of on the developer whim. You know, it's whether devs are gonna bother.
Adapt it or not. It's there. You can do something with those triggers, and it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to do something with it or not.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of neat.
So.
Well, Ryan, what's you been playing?
So I've got to level 50 in Lost Ark. I don't know if we've talked about the whole like other game modes. Or now the game truly begins in finger quotes past level 50. The cap's
So
level
it's
60.
like wow.
What? Yeah.
The game begins when you're max level or
Yeah. So
max main
you
level.
sort of. Yeah, you sort of pretty much get close to hitting max level by the time you're like a quarter of the way through the story of the game, and then there's basically it sort of slows it down, slows the leveling down way down, to to because the 50 to 60 would be considered bonus levels. You'll like get a little bit of extra stats, but most of it then now just operates under a gear score, just like virtually every other game. So it adds a couple of new modes into it now. So you got your main quest, and then you have the Abyssal Dungeon. No, let's start with the ones that I actually have done at the moment. Chaos Dungeon. So Diablo 3, you have the Nephilim Rift. So it was like you ran through a rift and you had to get the bar from 0 to 100% within a certain amount of time to successfully complete the rift. Chaos Dungeon is effectively that. 3 areas, tons of mobs, kill them, and then move on to the next area once you've filled about a third of the bar. Each area having a different sort of objective to help fill the bar. Like the first area is just kill mobs. The second area is kill mini bosses, then kill a boss. And then the third area is like kill monsters, then hit bits of the scenery, and then kill more mobs. And then
Kill the
at the
scenery.
end, yeah. Then at the end of that, you score. You get points, you get your rewards, you get to upgrade your gear based on what you got when it come out. Then you've got the tower, and the tower is a single time run through a spire, just various floors with various objectives. Well, with an objective on each floor. The objectives and the monsters in those objectives get more difficult the higher up the tower you go, but you can back out after the completion of any floor, save your progress, and go back in once your gear scores a bit higher from there. And then another mode is called the cube. So in the middle of your dungeons or your chaos dungeons, you can get a ticket to enter a thing called the cube, which is like the tower. Go through floor at a time and complete an objective, with the additional caveat of you'll either roll a buff or a debuff on each floor. So you
Didn't they
could
have
roll a buff that
something
says
like that in WoW?
maybe, yeah, a little bit like the Torghast.
Yes, that's the one.
But yeah, but it's kept on each floor. So like you could go on the floor and it's like, right, your attack speed's increased by 20% and your damage is increased by 50%. And it's like, that's a lucky one. Cool. That's great. Sometimes you might get an unlucky one.
Your
which
attacks
is like,
heal the
no,
enemies.
or your movement speed's lowered by 20%. Or you can't use potions on this floor. Or stuff like that. And then one time you'll get super lucky, where there's a whole bunch of treasure chests that'll just appear, and you can just hit them and hit them within the time limit, move on. And then the rewards you get is based on the grade of chest, based on the amount of points you're scoring on each floor. Caveat on that being is if you all wipe on the floor, you lose it all. So there's a bit of push your luck.
Yeah,
In
keep
regards to it.
risking or say, nope, that's it.
And then there's one last mode called Guardian Raid, where there is just you and your party of up to 3 other people taking on a giant boss or like a creature. In the first one is a bear, and it's Monster
armored?
Hunter style.
Yes.
It is armored.
This is
Your
what I said to
favorite!
him when he went against it. I
Your
went, Ryan, you must hate
favorite!
that bear.
I do. I've killed it many a time.
No time with me.
For those of you that don't
No.
know, Ryan hates armored bears.
I do hate armored bears. The Golden Compass doesn't really work very well for me. I never actually finished off watching his Dark Materials either, or the second series. It's a shame because I was actually quite kind of liking it. I just didn't get there. But yeah. So the idea is it plays like Monster Hunter or Dauntless. The first thing you have to do, you end up spawning in an arena, and the first thing you got to do is track the fucker down. Then you've got to hit it, and keep hitting it, and then you don't have a visual idea of how much health it's got. You just keep whacking on it until it falls, or until you fought it for 5 minutes, at which point it goes, piss off, disappears, and you got to track it down and repeat and keep hitting it again.
Does it
and
heal
then-
after it goes away?
No.
Okay.
No, so it still sort of maintains. It just retreats to somewhere else, and then you've got to go and find it again. But you've got 15 minutes, or between years, 4 lives. So 3 resurrections, and then if you die again, you can't resurrect, and if you all die, that's it. No one really fails on it from what it looks like. In the case of Steph, he matchmakes into a team that basically kicks its ass so quickly he was wondering where am I on the results list.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the sort of state that we're in Lost Ark now. It's sort of really opened up. In terms of where you are, like you can, there's like hidden islands that you can sail on. There's a lot of side questing now that goes on from the main story.
I was going to say, it sounds almost like a merge of all the cell phone games that you have. Like, all those, like, I want to call them, like, idle RPGs and stuff like that on the cell phones.
Yeah.
It's got, like, the tower
this one-
stuff and, like, where you clear as far into the towers as you can. Or it's got... It just seems like a whole bunch of those merged into one with probably better graphics. Well, actually, I've seen better graphics.
And player agency. You could actually, play rather than just turn your phone on and then just let it go.
Yeah. It takes a little bit more skill.
Yeah. Steph's got up to that point as well now. D's there as well. So we're all into this
I'm not.
game in finger
I'm
quotes.
not.
You're not.
Me
You
neither.
haven't joined us. Darius hasn't joined us. But Darius is thinking of.
Yeah, I
He's
do.
had an idea
Yeah,
of, like,
but Darius has
looking
been
at it.
thinking of playing League of Legends too for a while.
No, he hasn't.
No,
I
well,
thought
it's
it-
not for
Yeah,
me,
we
definitely.
were trying to make him play it. He wouldn't play it.
There was something that he was thinking of playing, and we were like, every time we were going to get him to play, he was like, yeah, I want to try that. And then, I can't remember what it was now.
I kind of tried Final Fantasy, couldn't get into it.
Final Fantastic?
Final Fantasy.
No, I think in Final Fantasy we did want him to play that.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something that he had said he wanted to play that we were playing. And
Never got round to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just have this weird, like, I don't know.
I was just saying I wasn't joking when I said to you when you were having your little, how does it feel? How does it feel being the you know,
Oh
the
look, my
worst
DM's
person
here.
to Pinky? And I just said no. How does it feel to not win out in the weekly standings to a man that if you put a gun to his head and say play lol, he'd respond with, well, taking the bullet sounds like the wiser option.
I'm just mad that alphabetical order keeps putting me below other people.
Yeah. I mean, still, look, you joined first. Spoilers.
I was last week too. So
Well, yeah, you
now I
joined
gave a
first.
spoiler. Now I gave
know.
this. They could have just believed that it was last week's scores.
Who's counting, honestly?
We're counting stuff now.
Wait, in all fairness, it sort of comes out like a day difference, anyways. So
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, on the VOD, the
yeah.
Fantasy League will have already been out for a day. So, I mean, what else should we talk about? Because Terry's not been able to talk about stuff. I mean, he's talked about Ukraine and giant balls.
I haven't done much. I just started playing RimWorld again.
Yeah, please tell us about your hotelier experience.
Oh yeah, I've added a whole bunch of mods to it now. So now it's like more like running almost like a hotel where you have to survive plus give food and bed and safety to random people that want to pay a little bit of money for a bed. But it's kind of interesting. But
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, so my DM's got here. So. Well, no, my DM's here, but they'll just hang out in the living room for now.
Is that a Fallout jumpsuit?
Yes, it's a Fallout jumpsuit.
What vault?
All right. What 111, isn't it? Yeah. She went to Costco wearing that today. Here, hold on. Let me do something.
If they're okay with that, of course. Remember.
Here. 1 second. Say hello.
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 That's Jess and this. Oh
Right.
God. No! No!
Why?
No! No!
Are they
No!
facing that tonight? Are they?
They can't hear you, unfortunately. But
just ask the question.
No. He's answering it. They all play too.
There we go.
So.
Yep, that works.
All right, I need a new character.
I
have extra characters built, just so you know. Wait, don't tell. Never tell the DM that.
You just broke the rule. Yes, you're supposed to have it, but my
just
God.
turned the blur on and then it came back
just, I saw it in the blur. I was like, wait, hold on, that's blue. There's blue and yellow waistband. It's like, oh yeah, that's a Fallout vault.
Yeah.
Jumpsuit. It's like, yes. But so you're in the middle of RimWorld. You were talking about like stuff out or bed and stuff.
I started on a file where I start with one person. Didn't really think this through. I start with one person and a bunch of animals. So surviving's pretty hard as it is with only having like one person, just because they have to do so much. Like they have to gather food, they have to build like their security and do all that stuff. But now I also have to feed my character and feed all these animals and contain the animals before they run away. So it was a bit of a chaotic start. I love how this one little section shows up. But yeah, it was just a chaotic start, and then all of a sudden, I didn't have guest beds, or a message popped up. Would you like these guests to come? They don't see any beds. I was like, let's decline guests until I get beds, because my character was struggling and didn't have the construction ability to build any electronics, which means I couldn't even build a refrigerator, which means any food that I made or any food that I got basically was perishing in a day or two.
Yeah.
So I had like no way of surviving on my own. But I eventually made some beds and then got some people to come, and it kind of helped having people come because they could eat the food before it perished.
Yeah.
but they weren't smart enough to eat the stuff that was getting close to perishing. They would just eat whatever.
They just eat the first food.
Whatever they got to first most of the time.
Yeah.
I made sure that they paid me for the food, so I got a little bit of money from that.
Oh, that's
And
good.
then some traders came through. Then my second set of visitors came, and I recruited one of them to my party, so I had an extra person. But
Yes.
unfortunately, doing that makes the faction get a little angry with you. Like you lose some reputation with it because you're taking their members, which kind of makes sense when there's just small clans. You don't really want to be taking factions or people from those factions.
Mm.
But it was only a little loss, and I regained it just by them visiting. But yeah, I kind of like it. I added a bunch of other mods like common sense. So instead of your character just going, say, to this corner, doing one job, and then going all the way over here, do one job, and then go over here, do one job, I'm going to haul some stuff to storage. So I'm going to grab this, and this, and take it all to storage. Or I'm going to go clean this room, clean everything inside that room. Or the biggest thing that I like is they sweep up the room before they go to bed, which means they're not going to sleep in a negative mood room, which helps their morale stay up.
I have to say that was the worst need in the original Sims game. What the fuck is mood?
Yeah. But
Oh no, it was room, wasn't it? It was room.
yeah.
As a fucking.
Well, that's what they use in this.
It's like,
oh no, it's not
why?
room in this. It's beauty, but the room has a beauty score.
Yeah.
So the higher the beauty score, the more positive it has on those people. Obviously, dirt it gives you negative mood or negative beauty, but yeah.
I'm just gonna quickly. I'll look at that after the podcast. If you can see in the back there is
Flickering red light.
flickering red light outside. Something's going on outdoors.
Oh, the
It might be a
police.
strobe light. I think it might be a house.
It'd be blue and red. If it was police.
Yeah.
It could be a fire truck or
Whoop,
something.
whoop. That would also be blue.
You have blue
All
lights on fire trucks?
Well, all our emergency services use the same blue strobe light. Police use
That's
blue
okay.
and red alternately, and then
That's okay. Here in Canada, just a blue flashing light means a snowplow.
Holy shit, guys! Get down! The snowplow's coming.
Our ambulance are red and white.
Right.
Flashing red and white, which is very difficult to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd be wondering why the neuralizer's coming behind me. So no, I like my memory.
But yeah. But we are running kind of late, so.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys? Did Stefan play anything new?
Nope.
Nope.
That makes it easy.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah, you know what? There was a very, very, very brief bit on here.
I was going to say the one news
It's the
article
moment of it's the moment called "We Laugh at Cryptocurrency" segment. According to PC Gamer and Gabe Newell had an interview where he stated that while for the brief amount of time that Steam accepted Bitcoin for purchases on Steam, 50% of the transactions made with Bitcoin were fraudulent. Therefore, allow me to do this like I did with NFTs. Let me just step away from the mic slightly.
Yep.
Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, Steam makes all the money anyway. So why are they?
That's not true. Look at the stocks. Amazon and Tesla make all this money.
Yeah.
In the gaming industry, Steam makes all the money. Let's say that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, they're not exactly. Gabe Newell's not exactly launching his own cock rocket out to space, is he? Like Bezos.
Austin Powers.
There's your bombshell.
There you go. All right, are we ending on that one?
yeah. We'll end up. We started with Ukraine and we ended with cock rocket.
Which, unfortunately, we all want to end up on now because of the way the world is. So.
Yeah. Right. Let's head up into wrap up time then.
Yeah. Well, Camera
Alright,
moved.
auto frame. Yeah, if you want.
Well, everybody, if you liked what you see, give us a thumbs up and like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever it is on whatever function you're watching this on or listening to this on.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah. Anything like if you can subscribe on Amazon or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or something. Give us five subscriptions and ratings. That'd be nice.
yeah,
5
get us
stars would be
notice,
cool.
get us notices,
Yeah.
and
We'll
get us
we'll take
noticed.
a star.
Yeah,
At least means you've seen us.
yeah. And audio versions are available everywhere you get a podcast. So
Yep.
everywhere.
We'll leave a focused Stefan to it. Should we just all quietly just go
He's
out with him
pooping.
and then take
He's pooping.
Alright, well,
He does.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go see what the flashing red light is. So
All right.
I'm off.
Have a good
Alright.
one. Oh, I almost hit stop stream instead of transition.